We gather on this special day, the second Sunday in January, every year, to set our intention for the new year and to choose a name or an attribute which represents that which we intend to manifest or to reveal or express in our lives in 2023. An expression of the divine, revealed perhaps in a greater way than ever before, as us, as only we can reveal it and express it in this world. Now, in the Bible, we are told of many name changes, of choosing a new name or having a new name assigned. For example, there was probably the most famous, there was Saul. Saul was a Pharisee. Now, the Pharisees were a group of Jews who policed the boundary of the law and made sure that others were faithful to the law of Moses. So as a Pharisee, Saul zealously and actively persecuted the early followers of Jesus, doing his very best to eliminate this fledgling movement, this radical teaching. And the name Saul means personal will. And on the road to Damascus, we are told that Saul was struck to his knees, that he was blinded for 3 days. And during that time, he was forced to look within himself, to look within his own heart. And when he was awakened from where he had been, being blinded both physically, being unable to see physically, and being blinded to the love and the truth around him, he was given a new name. And that new name was Paul. And Paul means enlightened will. And so Saul is a symbol of the human small self, that ego that forces our own will, that is then surrendered to the divine. And in that surrender, claiming the divine power, the higher self. And that's when his name became Paul, enlightened. Now, the story of name change is so common in biblical mythology. Abraham, as he grew in spiritual awareness, became Abraham. And Sarah became Sarah. Jacob was named Israel. And Simon was renamed Peter, which means faith. When we awaken to our inner spirit, we take on a new identity, a new name, so to speak. And this refers to the new, higher realization of the I am, a new awareness of our God self, of our inner divinity. And this is where the ceremony called the white stone comes in. The white stone is an ancient ritual with a long history. Back in the time when Jesus was living and teaching, anyone who served time in prison or in bondage of any kind, they were given a white stone when they were released. Well, each one of us comes from bondage, even today. Bondage to something, some fears, doubts, deeply rooted false beliefs of limitations, perhaps false grandiosity. Thinking to ourselves, we are past all this. Well, none of us are past all of this. None of us are permanently free of moments of fear or doubts. It's all part of the human experience for all of us. And as we're being given a white stone, this signifies our freedom of choice, our individual freedom to choose our thoughts and define how we experience our world as only we can choose to do so. The ceremony comes from the book of Revelation, the chapter 2, the second chapter. And Revelation is the last book, the final book in the Christian Bible. We're told that John is speaking. He's speaking to the churches. And all we know about John is that he was a Christian prophet. So John talks about the people being given a new name. And he says, to everyone who overcomes, I will give some of the hidden manna to eat. So what this is saying is that to all who see beyond appearances, I will give all that is needed in life. For the manna is the bread of life, the word of God, and it represents the realization of that divine substance everywhere present in every part of the consciousness. The hidden manna is that inner substance, that which comes from spirit, and we eat of it, or it nourishes us when we affirm that we are fed by that one living substance, that God presence, divine love, all that is. And John goes on to say, and I will give him a white stone, and on the stone a new name written, which no one knows except him who receives it. And so you've been told this is the time that when people had overcome and made their connection with divine, they revealed a new name. They were given a new name. The name was revealed to them by God, by Spirit. No one else intervened. No one else was aware of the new name. It was a freedom from bondage that this new name represents. And we're told, behold, the Christ of God. And each of us says, I will make all things new. And that's what we look forward to with each new year. It represents a newness, a shiny brightness, a clean slate, an opportunity for us to set our intention on how we see this new year unfolding for us. And so in this ceremony, we will be writing down a new name for ourselves, a name, a quality, a phrase, a divine expression, which we are guided to be ours for this new year. Now, I've seen people, and some of you are those people, and you've seen it as well, that when you write that new word, whatever it might be, peace, love, presence, you experience it, you become it, you take on this new essence. That is our holy desire today for each one of us, for this to not just be an experience of the intellect. We're not just up here, we're taking that 18-inch journey right to our heart. And so this is an intention from our heart. So as you hold your white stone in your hand, know that you are starting this new year with a clean slate. See it as a symbol of who you have become, or who you are becoming, or who it is your desire to become, that which you want to be revealed as you in this new year. So now hold the stone in your hand. And if you're at home, I hope you have your stone with you as well. For the folks there in the sanctuary, you have a stone that is from Hebron, Israel. It's called a Jerusalem stone, and it has traveled many miles to rest in the palm of your hand at this very moment, just as you have traveled many miles on your own spiritual path to be here right now in this moment. So this is a white stone, a fresh start, a clean slate, full of promise, potential, possibilities, and delicious expectancy. Feel the energy of the stone in the palm of your hand. Feel the texture, the uneven places. We each have those so-called imperfections, and they make us perfectly who we are, just as your stone is perfect. The white stone in your hand signifies your freedom, freedom from bondage of old thoughts and beliefs. And so I invite you to consciously, purposely invite the activity of God, of spirit, of infinite love into your heart and mind for the next few minutes. Perhaps there's a new career, a new title, a new quality that spirit is pressing out through you. I invite you to give your ego a few minutes of rest and let that divine holy self in you come through. Give yourself permission to know that you have a new quality, a new name. Rest into the music. Give yourself permission to experience the process as I will lead you into meditation. As you become still, allow God to express through you and as you. I invite you to grasp that white stone in your hand and envision it as a symbol of a new life. For behold, the Christ of God in each of us says, I make all things new. That is meant for you and for me. I invite you to meditate on what you're being called to in this new year and claim this as your new name. Affirm for yourself, I am about to walk into the most exciting and soul-nourishing year of my life. I am about to walk into the most exciting and soul-nourishing year of my life. As you are guided by Spirit, I invite you to trust this now moment. As Spirit gives to you in this sacred place, in this moment of truth, an insight into your divine purpose, an insight into your holy essence. In that secret place of the Most High, I invite you to allow yourself to hear the new name that God has for you as we rest in this space. As that name becomes clear, just allow yourself to write it. To open your eyes and write on your stone. It might be a title, it might be something like published author or clean and sober or grateful or peacemaker, whatever it is that comes to you. It will feel fresh and new and truly inspired by Spirit. And if a name has come to you, after you write it, stay quiet and allow yourself to ask for a deeper understanding, to ask if there are steps for you to take. In this moment, allow yourself to simply open to Spirit. Just say to yourself, God in me reveals my true essence. God in me reveals my next step. God as me lives a joyous, peaceful, fulfilling life. A thankfulness flows over us as we receive our new name. For along with it comes the power and the guidance to achieve all that we desire. This is our new name. We see it. We decree it. We claim it. We are on the path to gaining greater insights and awareness and mark a new beginning. Accept this consciousness of ever increasing good in your life. And from this moment, anytime you look at your white stone, realize that you have the gift of choice, the gift to live differently, to live a more fulfilling life, to make a different choice, to begin again, to connect with God, to co-create with God, to reveal your intention, fresh, anew, deeper, brighter, more expansively. And so it is. And so it is. Take a breath now. Good job. You've done well. And if a name has not come to you yet, allow the space for it to be revealed by the end of the day. Write your name when it comes to you, and it will. So this year, we continue with a tradition practiced for over 20 years, introduced by our very own Minister Emeritus, Reverend Evelyn Casper. Our annual prayer partner tradition. It is grounded in Unity's fundamental belief in the power of prayer, of knowing that our very thoughts are prayers, and that everyone has the innate ability to pray for another. So I'll explain the process. It's very simple. You ask yourself 2 questions this morning. Am I willing to allow someone to hold me in prayer for the next 12 months? And am I willing to hold another in prayer for the next 12 months? Your commitment is this. You are willing to, perhaps once a week, stop and think of your prayer partner. Envision them in the light and hold the truth of their wholeness, their abundance, their peace, and their joy. They may ask for something specific that you hold in prayer, or simply hold them in the light. You might feel inclined to send them an email with a short prayer or affirmation, if they have supplied that information and if you are comfortable doing so. Or you might text them a quick note telling them that you're holding them in prayer. Again, only if you have that information and you're comfortable doing so. And know that someone else is holding you in prayer. They are responding to whatever concern that you may have asked for on your piece of paper, that they will hold that in prayer, or they will simply hold you in the light. And you continue this practice for a full year. That person that selects your name is holding you in prayer for a full year also. And then next January in 2024, new prayer partner matches are made on the second Sunday of the year. So for those who are wishing to participate, as I've described, you'll fill out the prayer partner form. Then the ushers will pick them up. And after all the forms are collected, the ushers will pass the basket around and you'll select one, only if you put one in. And our online folks and some of the congregants who are not there today but want to participate have already had forms filled out for them. They'll be in the basket and they'll be collected as well. Carolyn will pull out the ones for our online folks. And then please find the opportunity to tell your prayer partner that you've been matched to them, so that they know about this wonderful connection. And you can do that even before you leave the sanctuary today. So hopefully your prayer partner will let you know that they selected you and that they are holding you in prayer. So go ahead and complete your form now if you'd like to participate in this process. Larry will play for us as we move through this completion of the forms, and Suzanne will direct the process for us in the sanctuary when she sees that the forms have been completed. God bless you.